Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, let's do a divine masculine check-in, but the first thing that I want to look at is, or that I've been instructed, intuitively guided to look at, is what are the revolutionary, cutting-edge thoughts that the divine masculines are experiencing in the 3D regarding their life, the love with you, divine feminine, and spiritual breakthrough, energetic understanding about themselves. So their life, existing life, this connection, or you, divine feminine, and spiritual energetic understanding. So let's get the first one. So in their life in general, what are the divine masculines on the edge of understanding? Self-love and not waiting any longer to do that. So a breaking point, I just heard. Something's got to give. Enough is enough. Draw the line in the sand. Done pretending. Wow, lots of stuff. So what can we get for divine masculines energetically here? Support. Temple of the Moon Goddess, emotional transparency, nurturance, and grace. Knight of Cups in the reverse is the cup of love we give ourselves. It is loving ourselves impeccably. So divine masculines are becoming emotionally transparent without further haste. Nurturance and grace. There's grace in it when you own your emotions. When you feel like you are justified to have those opinions, that your emotions do matter, that you are loved, that you do love yourself. It's no longer entitled to have the emotions. It's just is what it is, and it's plain as day. There is no need for stress about sharing those emotions. The energy of it is felt. I love the hawk. It's like spiritual falconry, sending out the intention. And so as the divine masculines own their emotions, they don't have to throw the weight of them around or be defensive that they won't be honored. It's just about speaking from that place plainly now. And intention, mental breakthroughs, and ideas. Yeah, exactly. So divine masculines are very much understanding that that it's beneficial to speak from a place of emotional transparency. How exquisite. That's exquisite. That is absolutely a game changer, for sure. So that's what's happening in the divine masculines' lives right now. Let's see. I want to get one more. How is it playing out for the divine masculines? So how is that showing up in their lives? Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Well, they're doing the work. People notice that they are changing, that they are showing up differently, that they are seeing real differences being made with the way they conduct themselves in every aspect I've just heard. Okay, so what is it that we can see for this connection? Oh, a bunch fell out already. Ending the burden. Awesome. So judgment and then the sun. The judgment in the reverse. So they are intending to see why there's burden here. So in the divine masculines' lives in general, they're becoming more emotionally transparent. That in turn is allowing them the final test. These twin union energies, or the union space of the twin dynamic, that constant telepathic space that we join each other in, that is the last frontier. That is a very high level, masterful, refined sort of an energy. So it's almost like a training ground out in the world for these connections, because these are the impeccable, masterful spaces where there is no pretending allowed. There is no ability to even show up in the enlightenment if all that puts a wedge in is still there. It is about total authenticity and enlightenment coming into these connections. And so there is emotion, you know, with the karma card, the judgment card in the reverse. Not everything has been seen about why the burden has been here, because the work is just being done to get the divine masculines into an alignment where they do see the light and can understand what has caused the burden. So in these connections, it's like a chain reaction. As the divine masculines love themselves enough to make healthy choices in every moment because they've done the work, because they're owning their emotions, they're valuing their emotional responses to their environment, their lives, they're able to apply that to these connections on a deeper level and begin to see where the burden can be released. Wow, we also have showing up here publicly, claiming victory in these connections, stepping into divine masculine energy and the Wheel of Fortune. So these are all in the reverse. This is divine intervention, divine timing. And so when the burden is released, it's like it spins this and we get coming forward as this empowered king in divine timing. So the light is being shown on what the divine masculines need to still look at consciously in these connections, but it's becoming accessible to them because of the work they're doing in their, I want to say, mundane daily lives, their 3D previous alignments. What can we see energetically for the divine masculines? A card fell on the first bundle. Seal of Metatron, form, structure, foundation, cosmology. Exactly. They are laying the foundation in their, like I said, mundane 3D lives in order to apply those higher understandings to this connection, because this connection, there's nothing that's mattered more than these twin connections. And so they are laying the foundation by seeing how the principles apply in their 3D lives. And now bringing that forward. What can the divine feminines be aware of as an indicator of this? Divine creator, what can the divine feminines be aware of in this regard? Ten of Swords, Lord of Ruin. So divine feminines, there may be things that your divine masculines need to face, things that look like you know, opportunities falling away, families falling apart, job losses, course corrections, change of course, an unlucky turn of events in some regard. Just know, divine feminines, that that can be this Wheel of Fortune. You know, when we don't really see how our intentions are creating, you know, blessings for us, sometimes the things that are familiar are taken out of our lives because it needs to make room for better. And so sometimes when we cling, it can be like a tower moment. And Lord of Ruin, there are going to be major changes that could be interpreted as bad luck or things that the masculines have not wanted to let go of are going to be released, because they're getting to a frequency of vibration where those things can't stick. There's no staying power in those things any longer. And so this connection, whatever has been holding these connections back, those things are going to begin falling away. So pray for understanding for self and twin, that there can be grace and ease through the process, that the light can be seen for what it is, and that the things that are not meant to go forward can be released softly, I heard. Okay, what is the spiritual progress that's happening in the divine masculine's lives. We get grieving and the Tower and choosing love over fear. So, this is exactly the message that just came through. Literally, this is a card of how to look at things. We can look at the 3 cups spilled over, but there are 2 cups, which is the love that remains with the changes. And the Tower, these are the Lord of Ruin, the things that the divine masculines have been clinging to, or that have been not an energetic fit for where they're going, that are going to fall away. The 3D is falling away for all of us. This is the card of the crossroads, and in the reverse, it's choosing love over fear. So again, 2 cards of major perception shift, paradigm shift. 3D to 5D, fear to love, and interpreting. Swords are the thoughts. So these are the divine masculine's thoughts about the things that are about to transpire in their lives. And this is a chance. This is what mastery looks like unfolding when we choose to see the losses, the major things that are released that we don't expect need to be released. When we choose to see those things through the eyes of love, that's spiritual mastery. When we have compassion, mercy, humility, when we roll with it, when we accept it, when we ask to be shown what the understanding, the higher understanding is, what the love in it, that is a major spiritual advancement of maturity, practicality. That's realism, spiritual realism. That's stunning energy. So divine masculines are going to be going through some major aha moments that they will have the opportunity to drop into love over. So divine masculines, you've got this. Remember, if something doesn't feel comfortable, ask the divine to show you a different, better interpretation of what's actually going on. What can we see here? For higher guidance, Metatron's star, exaltation, brilliance, and victory, triumph. So whatever is happening in your life, look at it as a victory, not a loss, divine masculines. Look at it as a victory. And neutrality, diplomacy, negotiation, philosophy. If you don't see it as a victory, at least be neutral. Don't get up in arms. Don't judge right now in a negative light. Surrender, allow, release, let go, breathe. You've got this. Wow, powerful messages for divine masculines at this time. Let go of all that does not serve, divine masculines. Okay, what can we see for the DM collective? How are they thinking about these connections? What are they feeling on the heart space? What are they wishing for these connections? What actions are being taken? What is the biggest challenge? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? Where is the connection going in the near future? And clarifiers. Okay. Oh, and I did open up a bunch of sessions in January, so if you haven't, please do. I welcome you. I'd love to work with you. Okay, DMs. Conscious mind, the moon and the 7 of Pentacles, moon in the reverse. So things are coming to light, divine masculines. You're changing how you invest, how you garden, how you tend to the things that you've got on the go. The revelation of the subconscious drivers for you has shifted. Your internal motivation has changed. You value things that you didn't value before. You are letting go of things that you held sacred that weren't. There is a changeover here, and including this connection, you're seeing things in a brand new way. I just heard you're not so willing to walk away. Usually we see in the Seven of Pentacles a figure taking one of these pentacles and going off to invest in something else. Steadfast. So something the divine masculines have seen has made them stay the course a little bit more surely right now, and to see where this connection will go. It feels like they've stopped running. Something has caught their attention. Let's get some supporting info for the divine feminines. So what is this that has caught the divine masculine's attention that is a deeper level? Oh yeah, there's another. They are hanging on. They are hanging on to the connection. Four of Coins and the Lovers. This is a higher love. Something they have thought, seen, felt, understood has reminded them of the profound nature of this connection, and they are not willing to let it go entirely. Not just yet, I heard. There's more than meets the eye. What are the divine masculines feeling on the heart space? Wow, the Four of Coins and the Empress. This Four of Coins just came up. Same card there. This is abundance. The Empress represents divine feminine and also abundance. It's in the reverse. So I get that kind of teeter-totter energy with the material realm successes that often will be a worldly motivation not to come forward to this more spiritual connection and love. And so there is a changeover. I get this somersaulting energy of the Empress here intermingled with material wealth or abundance going like that. So divine masculines, there is this heart opening, a pause, there's sort of a standstill because the divine feminine has been at odds with financial gain, or at least conceived of as such. The sacrifice, right? That the divine masculines have all felt that they would have sacrificed something, whether it was their freedom, their finances, other relationships, things to do with children, beliefs, religion. So many things have made it so that the divine masculines have kept and upheld the status quo and not come forward to divine feminine. That is changing over a little bit here again. They are starting to see that love is the true abundance, that the material world, this is the 4D. Again, we're getting this time. Time is the 4D. So 3D, that's about the material world. Then we add time in and we get the 4D. When we step up and out of time, we get the 5D. And so we have had this linear time healing, time master energy coming in, where we're releasing the past. We are not fearful of the future. We're not skeptical in the moment because we've learned to trust ourselves. So the divine masculines are also befriending the concept of time right now, as they are becoming more multidimensional and rising up and out of the binding of the 3D and linear processing. There is a heart opening again, this consideration of the Empress energy being love, abundance, rather than just strictly materialism. And I mean that in the way of looking at life through the eyes of the material dimensions, and not so much, like, I'm not calling them greedy. I don't think the divine masculines are greedy by nature. They want to do the right thing. They want success. They want to be the good guy. They want to be successful and show the world their incredible capacity. But it's misguided if it's not embodied spirituality. And so love, is the highest of all spiritual essence. There is a bravery growing. What can we see for the divine feminines watching this? Okay, so we see reunion, friendship, celebration, and secrecy, planning, maneuvering by moonlight. We saw the subconscious with the moon already. So this is a very subtle daydreamy energy I'm getting here for the divine masculines. The divine feminines, we're being shown that the divine masculines are very much seeing the connection between their progress, their process, and the ability to connect with you, to be friends with you, to be lovers, romantic, you know, all of it. They're seeing secretly under the surface, they're thinking about it a lot. They're feeling it a lot. Okay, what are the divine masculines wishing for these connections? Oh, look, the Three of Cups again. They're wishing to tell you, first and foremost, they think of you as more than a friend. So if you've been friend-zoned, this is a special message that they, when they're humble and not moving on ego, yeah, heck yeah, they think of you as more than a friend. I would say for the last year or more, the divine masculines have tried to make peace with the friendship attribute, the foundational energy. We are coming into them being able to actually authentically be a real friend. You too, divine feminines, you're getting to a place where it doesn't need to be romantic for you to just love the heck out of your divine masculine. And divine masculines, when they're honest, they don't just think of you as a friend. You're sexy, you're beautiful, you're amazing. And if they're being humble and just telling it like it is, wearing their heart on their sleeve, they miss you. They think of you as more than a friend. They feel bad about certain things that have happened. What can we see? Yeah, this is brand new for them, the Fool. So divine feminines, yes, your divine masculine is just actually understanding the difference between everyone else and you, I heard. Good stuff. What can we see for the actions? Here's the card of the 5D in the reverse. 5 of Coins coming in out of the cold. Separation is an illusion. 7 of Wands, fighting for the connection, setting healthy boundaries, setting higher standards, rising above. This is coming out of the 4D into the 5D, knowing that it's all energetics. It's all up to us. We are the center of our universes, and we tell others how to treat us based on what we are, oh my cat's here, what we are navigating. It's up to us. We don't need to be sad. Look at how sad that rose is. We can turn that around and say, hey, wait a second. This is what life is about. This is what really matters. What can we see here for the 2 of Cups and Justice? Yeah, this love is worth fighting for, and it isn't in a place of balance and fairness. Divine masculines are making changes, more deliberate changes, more assertive, timely changes, I just heard. They're not so bound by the conditionality of the 3D and the 4D. They are coming up and out of it so that they know that they are a universe, and the universe is grander than what meets the eye, or the history, or the unwritten future. I just heard. Oh, isn't that stunning? Divine masculines are really in the philosopher's field. Beautiful. What can we see for the biggest challenge? High Priest and the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups in the reverse means the return. Exactly, they're not running. They are, you know, coming back. So they are looking, the challenge is to get divine guidance. There's a sun and a moon in these keys. The challenge has been for the masculine and feminine to balance out their own energy so that they can meet in the middle and not run, to come back around. The challenge is for the divine masculines to see what is appropriate, what the necessity would be to come back in. What are the divine masculines looking for? What would be the benefit of it? To see it actually. That's the challenge, to see why it's justified. And what would do this love justice? There are healthy boundaries being set in their mundane 3D lives that will be the foundation to come forward, but there is still a waiting, petitioning the divine for the correct alignment attitude by which to approach these connections. What can the feminines know about that? Yeah, temperance and the end of burden. It fell on the floor. So temperance, angels, and ending burden. So we have the high priest and the angels here assisting. So divine feminines, don't worry. The fact that your divine masculine is intending on coming back around, even when the burden is ended, and asking for higher guidance, is very evident here. What is the spirit-guided solution for that? Oh, yeah. Choosing to see the one that got away through the eyes of love, not fear. Meaning it no longer is about having been lost forever. It's about having grown. There's a young boy on this card with a magical mermaid, and the boy has his arms crossed and doesn't believe in mermaids. No way, Jose. And so now that's being changed. The divine guidance is, yes, people can change divine masculine. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to see your divine feminine as a viable option now, when once you did not. You're allowed to admit that. You don't have to have had it all figured out in the past. You're allowed to see the light, to change your mind, and to say, hey, I was a doofus, I heard, and I didn't believe it before, and now I do. You're allowed to say that, divine masculine. You're allowed to say that. And I can't think of a divine feminine that wouldn't want to hear that, to be honest. What can we see for... Oh. 10 of Cups. Yes, divine feminines. 10 of Cups is only accessible when both people are invested equally, and divine masculines growing to the point where they can see this connection now. Don't for a second think your divine masculine fully understood before, or of course they would have been loving you. So leave room in your heart for that to have become, even if they loved you, I'm hearing their own healing and growth needed to be at play so that they could be responsible, accountable, entrusted with a love like this. And you know, this 10 of Cups, that's where things are going. This is the spirit-guided advice. This is how these connections can be found over the rainbow. When this card fell on the floor, we got the 4 of Coins again in the reverse. This is that hanging on card. We saw it twice in the early part of this reading. So the heart is being opened. The 4D card, this was all the messages about the 4D. So it's being moved past a lot of the 3D concerns, the logistics, the planning, the linear processing, the timeline that the divine masculines have been on. It's not so much of a monorail anymore. There is a remembrance that the monorail can switch tracks, can go to a different station, can go on a different route. You can get there from here, everybody. So I'm hearing also start at the beginning, of course. With that Fool, there is a new leap of faith that is accessible here. Okay, where are these connections going in the near future? There is potential for communication about commitment. There is potential for communication about work. If your divine masculine is an entrepreneur, there could be a conversation they are planning to tell you, fill you in on. This is an update from everybody involved about long-term plans, I'm getting. To the divine. So it's in, both of these cards are in the reverse. So it doesn't mean expected any second, but there is a growing preparation for talking about some of those logistics. And we got the Hierophant again. So yeah, we had the Hierophant in the challenge. This is in the reverse. So divine masculines, divine feminines, don't forget to listen to your own truth. So for divine feminines, start thinking more about your, material realm picture. Where are you at? Do you still need to do certain things that will bring you into more of your own stability? Divine masculines, is there some way that you can see space coming in a more spiritual light? So everybody is learning to ground this high level spiritual direction, divinely guided motion in their lives, in their own rights. This is a divine masculine attribute. It is a channeling card that talks about being able to access divine wisdom in physical form. And so there is a grounding motion coming in. Let's get one card for each. So a card for the divine feminines. Learn from the past. So divine feminines, learn from the past, but let it go so that, you know, you don't have to be on guard so much that it's going to repeat itself. It won't repeat itself. If you see anything that you need, you know, a red flag, get clarification, but you don't have to throw yourself to wolves. You don't have to get your emotions all bundled up in wishful thinking and hoping for something to work out. You are wise enough now, divine feminines, to see what didn't work out and be able to address that or see it coming so you don't engage in it again. Oh, but for gosh sakes, believe you're worthy of love so that you're not in victim mentality if you see any shortcomings. You don't need to be on guard in that like bulldog, aggressive kind of way. Divine feminines, put that down. I can feel some of the up in arms energy. You don't have to learn from the past with attitude like that. You can just know that, okay, I've been there, I've seen that, it didn't work. Thank goodness I know what it is now. I don't have to say yes to that if that is still the case. I can express a better way. I can know what a better way would look like. I can ask the divine to show me a better way so I don't have to feel at the mercy of whatever comes to me and think that that's as good as it will get. I can help design that. Gorgeous. What can the divine masculine see? Okay, a whole bunch wanted to come out. We'll take them. Be peace, divine masculines. Peace is coming. I love that energy. Time to collaborate. Yes, peace as you put down resistance to these connections and you begin to embrace the blessing they are. There is so much collaborative energy here. Magic works through you and freedom is yours. Yeah, don't give your power away or think that you're having to give your power away to your divine feminine. Divine masculines, be savvy, think on your feet, come into 0 point, live from that energy that you're not giving away your freedom, but that you are in your empowerment and that you can take peace. This is about that emotional transparency that was at the beginning of the reading. You know, when you're just showing up authentically, you don't have to play the game, right? Awesome. Let's do one final card for the collective. What is it we can see for the collective? Simultaneity, nonlinear processing, and epiphanies. We're all doing this together. We are all in this together. What you do for self, you do for twin. What you do for twin, you do for humanity. What we do for humanity, we do for the cosmos. The big picture keeps getting bigger. I love you all so much, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.